Sometimes history doesn't change with a big battle, but with a phone call, a weather report, or a quiet decision in a room no one sees. During World War II, there were rare moments when the world almost took a completely different path. A storm that nearly killed an invasion. A factory on a cliff in Norway that might have led to a Nazi atomic bomb. A Japanese plan to drop plague bombs on American cities. A German submarine loaded with uranium and secret weapons heading quietly toward Japan. If even one of these incidents had gone the other way, our modern world might look terrifyingly different. These are 4 rare W2 incidents that really happened and that could have changed everything.
It's the night of 4 June 1944. In a room in southern England, Admiral Eisenhower and his commanders are staring at weather maps. Outside, the wind is howling, rain is hammering the windows, the sea is wild. The plan was simple on paper: launch the largest invasion in history across the English Channel and land in Normandy. More than 150,000 soldiers are waiting, ships are ready, planes are fueled. Originally, D-Day was supposed to be June 5, but the weather is a problem. A Scottish meteorologist named James Stagg tells Eisenhower something risky. Tomorrow's weather will be too dangerous, but there may be a brief window on June 6th, rough, but just good enough to land. Imperial War Museums and History.com. Now we move north to the icy mountains of Norway. High above a narrow valley stands a hydroelectric plant at Vemork. Inside, the Germans are producing something strange called heavy water. Most people have never heard of it, but Allied scientists fear it could be the missing ingredient for a German nuclear reactor, a step on the road to a Nazi atomic bomb. If Hitler gets even one workable nuclear weapon before the Allies, the consequences are unthinkable. So a small group of Norwegian commandos is sent on what sounds like a suicide mission. They ski across frozen plateaus. They survive blizzards, hunger, and Nazi patrols. One dark winter night in 1943, they climb down an icy gorge, cross a frozen river, and break into the Vemork plant. Inside, they quietly plant explosives on key pipes and heavy water storage cells. They light the fuses and vanish into the snow. The sabotage is a success. Heavy water production is crippled. Later, Allied bombing and more sabotage finish the job. Germany's nuclear program never recovers. Years later, historians still debate how close the Nazis really were to a bomb. But one thing is clear: without enough heavy water, their chances dropped dramatically. That rare cold operation in Norway may have blocked the path to a very different and darker ending to World War II.
Not all near misses were in Europe. In Japan, a secret biological warfare unit called Unit 731 was already carrying out horrific experiments on prisoners in China. But in 1944, some Japanese planners proposed something even worse. The plan was called Operation Cherry Blossoms at Night, or Operation PX. Their idea was chilling. Load submarines with special aircraft, launch those planes near the U.S. West Coast, drop bombs filled with plague-infected fleas on American cities, including places like San Diego. These would not be normal bombs. They were designed to start massive outbreaks of bubonic plague and other diseases among civilians. Some military leaders thought this horror might force America to negotiate. But in early 1945, a rare thing happened. The Japanese Army's Chief of Staff, General Yoshijiro Umezu, objected. He warned that if Japan used plague on American cities, the United States might respond with even more terrible weapons. The plan was canceled just months before the war ended. No plague bombs fell on the American West Coast. If Operation Cherry Blossoms at Night had gone ahead, tens or hundreds of thousands of civilians could have died in agony. Public rage in the United States might have pushed for even more extreme retaliation. Instead, this nightmare stayed on paper, one of the rare times someone in power said no to a new level of horror.
Our final incident begins in a German shipyard toward the end of the war. A large submarine, U-234, is being prepared for a special mission. Its destination? Japan. Its cargo? Advanced weapons designs, parts of a jet aircraft, and several tons of uranium oxide, material that could be used in a nuclear program. As Germany collapses, the plan is desperate but clear. If we can't win, send everything we can to help Japan continue the fight. In April 1945, U-234 slips into the Atlantic. For weeks, it stays deep, avoiding Allied patrols. Then, in May, the crew picks up a shocking radio message. Hitler is dead. Germany has surrendered. The submarine captain faces a choice. He can ignore the message and continue to Japan, delivering his deadly cargo. Or he can surface and give himself up. He decides to surrender to American forces. The submarine is escorted to the United States. Its cargo is seized. The uranium ends up in American hands, its exact fate still debated by historians. What if that decision had gone the other way? Japan might have received advanced German technology and uranium to feed its own small nuclear research. Maybe it would not have been enough to build a bomb before defeat, but any extra boost to Japanese defenses in 1945 could have made an already brutal endgame even worse. With one radio message and one captain's choice, a dangerous transfer of technology was quietly erased from the war.
World War II is often told through its big battles and famous leaders, but hidden in the shadows are rare incidents like these. A weather forecast that saved an invasion. A sabotage raid in the snow that choked off a nuclear dream. A biological attack plan canceled at the last moment. A submarine captain's surrender that kept uranium out of Japanese hands. None of these stories alone is as famous as D-Day or Hiroshima, but each one was a small hand on the steering wheel of history. And together, they remind us of something powerful. Sometimes the world doesn't change because of what people do. It changes because of what they decide not to do. A forecast delayed, a plant destroyed, an order canceled, a ship surrendered. Rare WW2 incidents that could have changed everything and quietly shaped the world we live in today.